Yo, what's up? Good morning, everybody. Welcome in. Welcome back. Appreciate you, those that stopped by. I know it's a pretty busy day, so I don't expect a whole lot of people to kind of join in unless they're trying to kill time until the Super Bowl starts. But welcome in. I'm glad to have you here. And yeah, as the title implies, I probably should have picked a better title than what I put. But just to be fair with everybody. So the idea of this is that I'm going to, talk about the ACP program going away, how that's going to impact a lot of people. And I'm also going to just kind of share what I've picked if, I was heavily reliant on the ACP program and needed to find service elsewhere. Now, these are just my picks. Doesn't mean that I'm saying that you guys have to go to them. But I'm hoping that, the ideas that I've come up with might help somebody out there who is reliant on the ACP program, right? The Affordable Connectivity Program, which came off the back of the EBBB program that originally kickstarted during the pandemic, right? So they wanted to make sure that people could, connect to the internet, connect to family and friends by phone to let them know that they're okay when the entire country was on lockdown. And, so they created the EBBB program, right? Which initially just like with some carriers gave you free service, right? Like at the time that I tried it out to do a review on it on YouTube, I was on Boost Mobile, the Boost Mobile Legacy, right before they switched it over to Boost One and everything. I was on the Legacy program, and after just by the insurance that I had, providing that information to Boost Mobile, my phone service was $0 a month. I was on the full unlimited plan with 12 gigabytes of hotspot, and I paid $0 a month. And as a matter of fact, for a long time, I was paying nothing on that phone line. That phone line was just every month renewed. I remember a few times I talked about it on it's on the network, on a live stream, telling people that it was still free. It wasn't up until last year is when they switched it off. They changed it because all the Boost Legacy plans were migrating over to the Boost One, and so they cut off the access at $0. But after the EBBB program was changed, it became the ACP program, is where they started offering a percentage discount off bills, right? So certain people that were on a $50 bill plan were paying I think it was like $30. I think it was it was a $30 discount, so they're paying like 25, right? Between 25 to $30 a month is what they were paying for access. And because of the ACP program, a lot of companies started kind of gravitating towards that, with some of the heavyweight companies already offering, service, and a good amount of service for only $25. So, yeah, a lot of people really kind of needed that. And like anything in life, when you are given a discount on something, even though we get on our high horse sometimes and say, oh yeah, you were getting this discount, but you should never really, rely on it and base everything to be on it like it's normalcies, because you're going to screw yourself when they change it. Like, we can all say that, but the reality of us being humans is that, when you go a long time paying a bill that's been discounted, and it's no longer in the back of your head because you're like, okay, you know, like I qualify for this program, so I'm going to continuously get it. Our mind automatically thinks that this is a for life type of thing. This is why Boost Infinite advertises that their plan is $25 forever, right? They already knew that the ACP program was eventually going to go away. And most of us, you know, in the back of our heads, we knew it was going to go away. It was just a matter of when they were going to pull the trigger on it. And they did, right? February 7th was the last time that you could submit for qualification for the ACP program or renew your qualifications for the ACP program to continue to get discounts. And by the better part of 2025, the ACP program should, you know, be gone. Like, so, you know, this impacts a lot of people. A good friend of mine, Sneed, covers this on his channel, and you know, he went over talking about it, and you know, the points that he was making, and just kind of giving an idea of what for people to expect. And so, you know, because the ACP program is going away, I compiled just four services that, you know, I would recommend to people out there if they want to, you know, listen to my idea and kind of check it out for themselves. You have these options here. Now, the company that's heavily impacted is Q-Link Wireless. They are one of them that's heavily impacted, only because I do have a Q-Link wireless line that my youngest daughter uses, and we already got a message from Q-Link letting us know that the particular plan that she's on is going to go away. Now, to give you guys context of what that plan is, so it was unlimited talk, unlimited text, and it was unlimited data. However, on the LTE side, you were like throttled to 2G speeds. But if you had a 5G access phone, at times you were able, it was able to bypass that cap. And so with it being reliant on T-Mobile, you were connected to 5G ultra capacity, and you were able to get like 400 to 500 down and about 100 on the uplink, which is crazy. I did a couple of speed tests and posted it on Twix. So it's like, you know, shout out to B-Tech Reviews for coming up with, well, him and Mill Hustles came up with the little slogan named Twix for X/Twitter, so call it Twix. But I posted a couple of speed tests on there showing it. I posted a couple of speed tests here on this channel showing that Q-Link can surpass the 1 megabit down, 1 megabit up throttle that they had on it if you were on LTE. If you got on 5G, you can bypass that. But anyways, not trying to ramble on too much about that, but did receive a text message from Q-Link letting us know that the line that is on you know, for having benefits, it's going to be reduced back to its old plan, which it was a limited amount of minutes to talk and text, and then it was like very low amount of data. I think it was like 250 megabytes or 500 megabytes of data. And I know my daughter's not going to be able to use that, right? So that's why yesterday when I did the unboxing from the package I got from B-Tech Reviews, he sent an unused Boost Mobile SIM kit, which I thanked him for it because I was actually going to get one anyways and put my youngest daughter on that for their 5 gigabyte 3-month plan and just pay her bill every 3 months. Anyways, yeah, so the ACP is going bye-bye. This is something that, you know, it's just gonna happen, right? Money's dried up. As a matter of fact, just to kind of answer the question, for those who wanted to know, right, you know, because some people are just like, you know, the money's dried up. How is it funded? You know, it's a quick synopsis. It just basically talks about it. In 2021, Congress established the ACP in a bipartisan infrastructure law and appropriated $14.2 billion for the program. Current ACP funding is projected to run out at the end of April of 2024. As of January 2024, Congress has not appropriated additional funding for the ACP to keep the program beyond April 2024. So that's the reason why that, you know, where people want to know where the funding was coming from. Obviously, it was coming from that. 14.2 billion just pretty much like ran basically 3 years and allowed people to have a, you know, cheaper phone service that gave them a bit more than what, you know, those those government phones government phone services, like those that call them Obama phones or Trump phones. What up, Brian? You know, they got a little bit more than what those service plans were originally offering. So yeah, speaking of that, I got to make sure that I contact QLink and get the number transfer information so I can transfer that number to Boost Mobile for my daughter so she can keep her same number. But yeah, 14.2 billion. Now, you know what? I don't go so political on this channel, but I will go out on a whim and say this. The reason that there's no funds appropriated going beyond 2024 for the ACP program, obviously, is because what's kind of going on today. If you are someone who follows politics and you know about the wars that we've entered in, you know about where money that the government has been sending it out towards, right? We've been sending money out to Ukraine past couple of years, where, interjected ourselves into the war out there in Israel. And I'm not picking sides, so no one ask me like, whose side are you on? Yeah, no, I'm just kind of like saying this is why there's no funds being allocated to this, is because, yeah, all those things that's going on. So that's why they can't extend it beyond April of 2024. They can't fund it anymore. That's what sucks. So, like I said, I've compiled just a small amount. I'm sure there's a lot of other ones out there. And you could definitely look for those, but these are the 4 that basically I just, for myself, would go. And I'm just going to share this as like, my opinion. And opinions are like assholes. Everyone has one. So this, like I said, this is not saying that you guys should have to go to this, but this is what I would do. So I am going to share my screen really, really quick. And you guys shall see. But the first one on my list of ones that I would go to, it is going to be this. Mobile X. Now, this is for those who don't use a lot of data and that was on the ACP program and barely use, a gig of data or, anything beyond 7 gigs of data. I would definitely recommend you checking out Mobile X. And the reason why is because there were a lot of people that were that were using the ACP program discount, and they, they had these fully, unlimited plans, or like, an unlimited plan with a 30 gig of high-speed data cap. And maybe they don't use 30 gigs of data a month, it could be an older gentleman who just, reads the news, and then does text messaging, does phone calls, looks at posts on Facebook, checks on family and stuff like that. So maybe you don't use a whole lot of data. And if you don't use a whole lot of data, then Mobile X is going to be the one that I would recommend that you check out, only because with Mobile X, you control how much that you're going to use, right? Like they do have those quote unquote unlimited plans with, a specific amount of high-speed data access. But what makes Mobile X very different from that is that, the pay setup for what you want. Right. As you see, like, they keep pushing that, you could have phone service as low as $4.08 a month. Really what you're actually going to be paying for, if you set this up where you go on the, the customized plan, $1.98 to access the network. And then you choose, whether you want unlimited talk and text, or if you could choose 50 minutes by 50 text messages. They have different pricing scales to just kind of allow you to control what you pay per month. And then the price of data per gigabyte is $2.10. That has not changed. So you can see right here, just kind of the structure of the U plan. 30-day access platform fee, $1.98. Pricing per data is $2.10. The data speeds are unrestricted. So even in times of congestion, apparently you're not supposed to be slowed down. Data optimizer, which basically means that if you watch videos on your smartphone, you have the ability to watch it in 4K. You can watch it in 480p. You have that option to scale your video playback streaming. I wouldn't do 4K if you were going to go like on a 2 gigabyte monthly plan, just because that'll eat your data pretty fast. Surplus data forwarded, what that means basically is kind of like, rollover. Think of rollover, but not exactly like that. So let's say, you're on a 1 gig plan, and you're paying like total like $6, right? But you don't use the entire gig. So then the $2.10 that would be the cost of that gigabyte would be forwarded to your next month's bill. So when your next month's bill comes in, instead of it being $6, subtract $2.10 from that, and that's what your bill is going to be that month. So yeah, you do get a kickback for not using all the data that you purchased on your plan. It will roll over and credit onto your account, and you'll see a cheaper bill. So that kind of works out great. But again, this is for those people that are very, very low data users. And as you guys can see here to the right, there's talk and text options. Like I said, $4.50 for unlimited talk and text, 150 minutes by 150 texts. That's $2.50. And then you got the talk and text at 50 minutes of talk, 50 text messages for $1.50. You also have the no talk and text, which means that you can just have strictly data. And if you use calling services, like if you use Facebook Messenger to call and text family, or if you use WhatsApp, or you use any of those things, then you really don't need the talk and text. But they also have another unlimited, which is an unlimited international talk and text. And this is unlimited talk and text in the United States plus Mexico and Canada. That also costs $4.50. So it's similar to just a regular talk and text. So they could just really kind of do away with this and just make it to where you can toggle on and off international. Let me catch some of the comments here. I have a friend with very limited income who is on the ACP program. The way he uses data, he needs unlimited data, and I'm trying to find him a plan he can afford. What is his top out that he is able to spend comfortably without really kind of hurting his finances per month, if you know exactly what that amount is? Does MobileX include roaming with their plans? Now, what do you mean roaming? Like roaming internationally? Like going to China, going to France and all that? If you're saying international roaming to that fact, not yet. That is something that they are building up to, but it's not yet offered. As you can see here, the only thing that even remotely comes to international is their international talk and text, and that's calling from the United States to these countries, and that's only Mexico and Canada included. Nothing on the international rates just yet, but that is something that they're working to. What's up, Bobby Warren? Welcome in. If you're still here. If you bailed, cool. Anyways, and by the way, while I'm going over this, you guys are more than welcome to share who you're going for Super Bowl. Are you going 49ers? Are you going Chiefs? Say it in the chat. If you're watching the replay, comment below. I would like to know who's going for what team. Probably 40 to 50 bucks. Okay, I got you. There's some other options here too. So just stick with me, buddy. I'm going to go through everything here that I have. Let me wrap it up with MobileX. But yeah, that's MobileX for you. If you want, a bill lower than $10 a month, this is an option here. But again, like I said, this is for very, very low data users. Now, you do have an option to add more data if you run out of data. And again, purchasing data is $2.10 per gigabyte. You have that option. Everything is done within the MobileX app, so you don't need to call customer service and talk to them or anything like that. You have control over everything. So that's where I would say those that are low data users, I would suggest if you lose your ACP discounts with your current provider, here's where I would say you guys should go to really just kind of save you some money. And a lot of people are shocked and surprised exactly how much data they use per month when they actually try out MobileX, because MobileX has a 10-day trial period. And what that does is their AI learns your habits on your phone and will tell you like how much data you actually use. And it does calculate the fact when you connect to a home Wi-Fi, it will tell you like you're on home Wi-Fi majority of the time. When you leave your house to a 30-day span, you only use 3 gigabytes of data. That's a shocker. So yeah, you can save some money there. The next option that I would say for those that are heavy on data usage, Visible by Verizon. And the reason why I say Visible by Verizon, oh, and by the way, Mobile X uses Verizon's network. Can they both lose? What do you mean by can they both lose? Mobile X and Visible both use Verizon's network. But for heavy data users, those that use a lot of data, Visible is where I would go. So there's two plan options that Visible has, right? A $25 plan and a $45 plan, where there's some discounts going on right now. So you can get the $45 plan as low as $35 with promotional codes. They don't last long. Like they have one right here. They extended it until February 14th. Get 24 months only for $20, right? If you use the Visible code, Visible24, which I will let people know that if you have a friend that sends you a friend code, the Visible24 and your friend's code is not stackable when you first sign up. So you got to choose one or the other. Either you're going to get your first month for $5 and then pay $25 a month for the rest of the time that you're on Visible, or you can pay $20 a month by using the Visible24 code and lop off $5 off your bill for 2 years. But this is where I would go if I was a heavy data user. Reason being is that, you know, Visible Plus gives you access to the ultra wideband on Verizon. You know, you get 50 gigabytes of premium data access and global talk and text, right? So if you talk to people in certain countries beyond Mexico and Canada, that is included with the Visible Plus plan. And the hotspot is unlimited. It is capped though. So your speeds are supposed to be 5 by 5. So, I mean, that would be the option. And if you go on the base plan for Visible, right, it says that you don't get ultra wideband access. I don't know how great their system is at making sure that base subscribers aren't tapping into that, because there's been times that on the base plan that I have tapped into ultra wideband and had seen my speed just skyrocket to like 700-800 megabits per second on the download. Recently, they gave me a little promotional deal to put me on the Visible Plus plan, but have me pay the base plan price, right? So this is my second month of doing it. Next month will be my last month, and then if I want to stay on the base plan, I just have to go on my Visible app and choose the base plan and keep it there, which I'm going to. Realistically, right, aside from speed testing and saying, oh, you know, I got super fast, you know, data speeds on my phone that it can magically fart unicorn rainbows and no one would ever see it because it's that lickety split. The reality of things is that the things that we use does not require such high speeds to be able to use them, right? Facebook, Twix, Instagram, all those, it just doesn't require gigabit per second speeds, right? The only way you really utilize that is online mobile gaming for right now. And, you know, just like high data transfers wirelessly is where you would really kind of benefit from that. So being on the base plan for $25 or $20 if you use the promo code, everything that you're going to do on your phone, you're going to be able to do it no matter what, right? And it's at a $25 or $20 price plan, but let's just call it $25 because that's what its actual pricing is. So it's $25 a month. So you have unlimited data on your phone, unlimited talk and text, and you have unlimited hotspot. It's a 5 megabit by 5 megabit per second cap. I will tell you guys, I've exceeded beyond those speeds. And they tell you that it's only one device connected at a time. I've ran everything in my house connected to Visible. So, you know, I'm not going to complain because I know it's not supposed to be used that way, but I was able to do it. So I guess in times of need, you might be able to do it. You have Spectrum internet and TV at your house. Yeah, I wouldn't say Spectrum would be the way that I would go for people that's on the ACP program that was really, really reliant on the ACP program, right? Telling people to bundle for TV and internet when they're trying to keep phone service that, you know, was almost free to them is probably not the way to go. So, but yeah, that's cool that, you know, you got your stuff bundled together. But yeah, but this is what I would go for, like a whole unlimited thing. The only caveat to this is that it's Verizon Verizon supported. So if Verizon doesn't do well in your area, okay, ask the question. If you're someone that lives in an area where Verizon doesn't perform, but T-Mobile performs, then for a limited time, this could help. But I really wouldn't this is why this is a number 2. I really wouldn't push so hard on this because who knows how long they will run this. And that is to bring your phone and save, right? If you bring in a phone number and you bring your own device, you can activate on Metro by T-Mobile for only $25 a month. And that's the plan that I currently have on Metro right now. You get unlimited 5G access and other stuff like the Scam Shield, VIX Premium on them. So I haven't even activated that VIX Premium. I got to look into that. And then, T-Life. Well, okay, I really don't care for those things, but it's there. You pay 0 activation fee and you bring your phone and number. See, keyword right there, bring your phone and number. Now, I will say this, if you are on Metro already and you've been on Metro by T-Mobile for a while, being that you're considered a loyal customer, you can ask them to put you on this plan. So I've had the Metro by T-Mobile account for I think like 2.5, almost 3 years already. And when I had called them and told them that, my son wanted to port his phone number out of Metro because there's other options out there that's offering $25, they put that line on the $25 plan. This particular $25 plan, they put it on this plan just as a save tactic. So if you're a loyal customer with Metro, you can get this plan. Now, what do you lose with this plan? You lose the hotspot access, right? So you cannot connect other devices to your phone for a hotspot. Okay, not a real big deal if all you're really needing is the access on your phone. This is literally just, supposed to allow you to connect by phone calls, text messages, and by browsing the internet and, doing those things that people do, right? Like YouTube and stuff like that. Thanks, Nate. So, I mean, that's exactly what it's for. Any other MVNOs for travel? I'll get into that. But yeah, $25 a month on Metro. If you're a loyal customer and been with them for a long time, you can ask them to put you on this plan. If you're going to sign up with Metro or move from your current provider to Metro, then bring your phone number, bring your own unlocked device. It has to be an unlocked device, folks. If you have like a Cricket device that has not been SIM unlocked, do not get pissed off if you come over to Metro and they tell you that your device cannot activate. It has to be an already unlocked device, or if you got it through a carrier, you must have the carrier network SIM unlock it. Okay. Now, if they won't do it, there are other avenues that you can go to try to get that phone unlocked. I'm not going to mention any because some of them have been A-okay and some of them have been scams. And I'm not going to get told, hey, you told me to go here to get my SIM unlocked and they ripped me off. Like, no, that ain't happening. So you can find those. You know what to search on Google to find those. So you can do that if you want to get your phone unlocked. But this is if T-Mobile is good in your area, Metro. There you have it. The fourth one on my list, and it's the last one on my list, but it's only because of this reason. Boost Mobile. I know people are gonna be like, "What the fuck, Tito? Boost?" I know, I get it. Not a lot of people like Boost Mobile. Boost Mobile's name is so tarnished from everything that's happened in the past and currently today. I get it. And the reason why I'm not throwing Boost Infinite in there is because Boost Infinite is $25 a month for unlimited talk and text. But it's so wonky on their AT&T access and what you get for that, or their T-Mobile access and what you get for that, or their native dish access and what you get for that. So I'm not even gonna fuck with that and throw people for such a headache. Super Bowl Sunday, right? You're gonna get headaches when you're screaming off the top of your lung for the team that you're going for. And by the way, no one said who they're going for. Who the fuck are you guys going for Super Bowl? Call it. Nothing is taboo here. You're not going to get made fun of. I will boot people out of here if they start talking shit. You guys are free to speak. What team are you going for Super Bowl? 49ers, Chiefs? Let me know. Okay, so the reason why I'm saying Boost Mobile is because, there's two reasons. One, they do have a $25 plan. Okay, they do have a $25 plan, But this one is not the same as Metro or Visible. Okay, this one's $25 plan is very similar to Mobile X's $25 monthly plan if you decide to go that route. And a $25 plan gives you unlimited talk and text, and it also gives you 30 gigabytes of high-speed data connectivity on AT&T's network. Unless you're in an area that, you know, uses T-Mobile, then you'll get a T-Mobile access one. But the plan stays the same no matter what. 30 gigs of high-speed data, and then you are slowed down for the rest of your bill cycle to, they say 512 kilobits per second, but I've seen 2G speeds most of the time. So when people are like, fuck Boost Mobile, how can they say it's unlimited? Well, you know, verbiage, right? They don't turn your data off. When you pass 30 gigs, you're not completely shut off from the network. So that's why they can say unlimited data. And sometimes, you know, you catch them in their bullshit when they say unlimited high speed, because no, now they're reaching, right? The only high speed data access you have is 30 gigabytes of data, and that's pretty much it. After that, you're slowed until your bill cycle starts again. However, Boost Mobile running this promo right now, limited time offer, 50% off your first month, right? So if you go with the $25 access plan, it's $12.50 to start your first month. They also have different options here too, like a 5 gigabyte monthly plan, which my daughters are going to go on. And they do have monthly, and then, you know, every 3 months, every 6 months, and a yearly plan. So we'll look at all their plans here. These are the, you know, the $15, $25, $40. It's funny how they have it. And like the $25, $40, and $60, all unlimited. What's the difference between them? Well, you can see the $25 plan is just unlimited talk, text, mobile data. Auto pay is required. So if you don't have auto pay turned on, it is $30. That's something I think a lot of people should know. And then, you know, you get a free SIM kit if you choose this plan, right? The unlimited $40 plan gets you 12 gigs of mobile hotspot. The $60 plan, basically, I think it gives you 20 or 30 gigs of hotspot. Hold on, let me click the get plan. Let's look at it together. Oh no, I don't want to do that. Anyways, yeah, this is just more hotspot on this. Plus you get, you know, total Mexico included, so you can use Boost Mobile in Mexico. They do have a roaming agreement in Mexico. This is their yearly plan. So if you want to pay like once a year, for $100 for the entire year, you get unlimited talk and text and 1 gigabyte of data. So this you could pay like one time and not have to worry about it until next year, right? They have an unlimited plan. This is new. I didn't see this last month. That's $300 for the entire year. So I'll look more into that and make a separate video about this. But yeah, you know, this would be great for those people that get like a decent tax return, because then just think about it. If you're on Boost Mobile, pay $300 when you get your tax refund for the unlimited plan, and you got to worry about a bill until your next year around your tax time, which I always say, you know, to anyone as a side advice, if you're going to go for these annual plans and you're going to use some of your tax refund to fund that plan so you can pay once a year, I would make sure that my renewal dates for my plan is at least a week to a week and a half after I've received my refund. That way, the next year, because you don't get your tax refund on the same day every year. Sometimes there could be like a monkey wrench thrown in there. You know how the government likes to fuck with their money. So give yourself that breathing room just in case, right? Like if you got your refund on the 27th of February last year, doesn't mean you're going to get it on the 27th this year. You could get it on March 3rd this year. It just depends when the IRS wants to let go of the money that they've collected from your paychecks the previous entire year. But they also have, did they get rid of them? Because they used to have like monthly, like, what do you call it? The 90-day ones. Hold on. Boost may have made some changes here that I did not see. Let's see. Let's go plans. Yeah, we were on this page. Save big. Oh, they must have gotten rid of it. Huh. Interesting. Learn more about the Boost One app. It's funny because in the Boost One app, it still showed it. I gotta grab my daughter's phone later. I'll probably talk about this later on. But anyways, yeah. So you got options. Hold on the every 90-day plan or every 120-day plan. They may have gotten rid of those and just did these and did an annual. It is what it is. Now, for those that's talking international, here, I can pull this up. I don't want to do that. No, I don't want to look at my old account. That's one thing that sucks about Google Fi. They don't just let you go straight to their homepage if you're signed in on your Google account. I sign out of that. Let's see what happens. You guys saw service was canceled. Yeah. No, I don't want to sign into any account. Let's see if I can get this to go so I can show you guys the plan. Okay, here we go. All right. Yeah, I saw my old Google account. That's canceled. Yeah, they're too cheap to fund. That's a very good thing. Wealthiest nation in human history. Yeah, too cheap to fund $6 billion program for a $30 a month plan. Yeah, and that's just because that money is going elsewhere. that money is going towards what's happening today with all these wars that's popping up, thanks to our brilliant commander in chief. What if you're in an area that has both AT&T and T-Mobile? So, if you're in an area that has both AT&T and T-Mobile, it probably would be beneficial to go with Boost Infinite just because of the fact that they do have it to where whichever one, if you go and sign up at boostinfinite.com, you'll get a SIM that is AT&T network dependent. If you order through Amazon's storefront, so you go to Amazon /Boost Infinite and you order a SIM kit on Amazon for Boost Infinite, then it's T-Mobile access that you get. But if you want unlimited, fully unlimited data, the Metro by T-Mobile plan is going to be it for however long this lasts. That's why I say it's a little bit leery about this one, just because I don't know how long that this will last before they decide to get rid of people accessing it. But for right now, since people are going to be pulled off the ACP, I would say get on this, because if you're on this and you don't make any changes to your plan, then you should be fine. I will. Oh, good thing you did. Thanks for saying that, because it reminded me of this too, that I forgot to say about the Metro plan. If you need to swap phones, you got to be careful, right? So be careful with your phones. Because in order to swap a device while you're on this plan, you have to move to their $40 plan to temporarily allow you to switch your phone. And then they have to manually put you back on the $25 plan, which is going to be hard if they get rid of the plan itself, because if they don't have the SOC codes in their system, since it would be retired, then it would be really hard for them to put you on that plan. So just be careful. That's one thing I do want to let people know, because that does happen. And I know customers get pissed off when they hear that from customer service, when they say, oh, I'm sorry, we can't put you back on that plan. Yeah, the customer service rep can't put you on that plan, but they would have to escalate it to tier 4, and tier 4 would have to do some wonky shit. Either they can actually get the SOC code and put it back on there so the system can bill you correctly, or they would have to put you on the $50 plan and then automatically credit you $25 a month, which they'll forget to do that part. So there's some months where your bill is going to stay $50 and you're going to get pissed off and have to call in and bitch at them. And who wants to do all that mess, right? I just want to let people know. Now, for something that's an international use, you're not going to find anything cheap that's $25 a month or below $50. Then that's That's, the only one that comes even close if you're someone who internationally travels a lot is going to be Google Fi. Like, the customer service is shit. I don't like how they do business, but their services is good. It's great. It runs on T-Mobile's network here in the United States, and it's got good partnerships all across the world. I think 200 plus countries that you'll be able to use your phone. Their plans are very simple, right? So like, we'll look at all their plans. They only have 3 plans. Let's do one line only. So these are the prices for all 3 plans that they have. You have the Simply Unlimited if you're going to stay in the United States, which gives you basically unlimited talk and text, unlimited data. It's actually throttled after 35 gigs, I believe. 35 gigabytes, and you're slowed down to 2G speeds. But you get 5 gigabytes of hotspot tethering, and you get data included in Canada and Mexico. So if you go anywhere in the North American continent, you'll be covered for usage, right? Their recommended plan is the Unlimited Plus plan. And the reason I recommend this plan is because there's a whole lot of goodies to it, but mainly for what Google Fi is really trying to make themselves known for, right? Besides being Wi-Fi dependent, because Google Fi has a lot of connections with other companies for Wi-Fi access on them, like Starbucks and Target and all them, right? You can just simply connect to them. No need to sign in or anything like that. Hey. Hi, welcome in. Glad to have you here. While you have, Fi being able to do that, they recommend their Unlimited Plus because they also want to be known for like the best international usage plan, like company that offers this, right? So unlimited hotspot tethering just basically uses your data that you have. With the Unlimited Plus plan here in the United States, you have 50 gigs of priority data access before you are slowed down, right? But in this plan, data is included in 200 plus destinations, and that includes China. And you know how China has limitations on their network as to what you can access? Like, believe it or not, in China, you cannot access Google Drive. You cannot access certain areas of Facebook. They have certain things pretty much blocked off, right? But Google Fi can go over what we call the Great Wall, the Great Wall firewall in China. So you can access things that you normally would access in the United States that is prohibited of Chinese citizens for them to be able to access. So you'll be able to do that with here. Now I'll get into a thing of like, if this can bypass, the CCP's firewall block on the internet, why aren't a lot of Chinese people using this? I'll get into the reason why. But anyways, calls from the US to 50 plus destinations, unlimited, right? No cost per minute. So if you're calling from the United States to Thailand, the United States to Japan, to France, those are some of the countries that it doesn't cost you a per minute rate to call. Unlimited shareable data with tablets. You can, with this plan, you can get a data-only SIM card and put that in a tablet or even into another smartphone, and you can carry 2 phones. And it feeds off your main line's data. So if you have like a family plan on the Unlimited Plus, all 4 members can get data-only SIM cards and put it into another device, and those data-only SIM cards pulls from their allotted data. And every line on a family plan on Unlimited Plus gets the 50 gigs of high-speed priority data access. So there's not 50 gigs shared across all lines. It's each line individually gets 50 gigs. And if you add a data-only SIM, those SIMs pull from that one line's data. So the main line sharing its data to all 4 data-only SIMs. No. Every line shares its own data to its own data-only SIM. So that's also cool to have. And you get 1 year of YouTube Premium. Finally, Google Fi got smart and threw this in there. Because I was saying, like you had other companies that was giving Netflix and Hulu and Max and all kinds of stuff. Google Fi, you're Google, give them YouTube. And, I would just say give them YouTube for life. That's me. But I'm not running Google Fi. Because if I was running Google Fi, I would fix the fuck out of this. Not that this is bad, but the customer service is shit. And you get 100 gigs of cloud storage with the Google One access. And everyone always talks about the cloud storage you get with Google One, but there's a lot of other perks you do get with Google One. One thing is that if you have a non-Pixel phone, being a Google One subscriber allows you to use the features such as Magic Eraser within the Google Photos app. So you get access to some of those Pixel exclusive features to non-Pixel devices. So like even on my iPhone, I can use Magic Eraser when I take photos because I have a subscription. Therefore, I'm logged in under my Google account on my iPhone. So Google Photos on there allows me to access Magic Eraser. But besides those things, a big thing that no one really talks about, you get freaking discounts, like hotel stay discounts, restaurant discounts. There's a lot of benefits and perks given to Google One subscribers beyond the fact that you get 100 gigs or 200 gigs or 1 terabyte of cloud storage and access to Magic Eraser and all these other features in Google Photos. You also get discounted benefits for like hotel stays and traveling and stuff like that. I call it the concierge service because when you reach out to Google for help, the Google help you get being a Google One member, access to somebody faster, and you get a lot of sources to reach out for to get help with either your Android device, your Pixel device, your Google account. So yeah, it's beneficial to have Google One. It really is. But you get that thrown in here, right? And then lastly, they have their flexible plan. I clicked on it and I don't even know why, but here we go. So detail of it. This one, I don't know. If you're using less data, this may be helpful. Because you're still able to use this outside of the United States. You can use the flexible plan in Thailand, in Japan, in Korea. You can use it there, but you're paying $20 for unlimited talk and text, and you're paying $10 per gigabyte that you use. That's pretty expensive. That is hell of expensive compared to Mobile X giving you 1 gig of data for $2.10. And you also have to factor in that taxes and government fees apply. So like with Mobile X, taxes is not included in the plan. So you will pay taxes on Mobile X, and the difference between Mobile X and Google Fi, because Google Fi's taxes and government fees are fucking outrageous. Fucking outrageous. Mobile X, it's the taxes and fees that I've seen are small, right? On a $25 plan, I was paying $26 and some odd change, right? So like $1 something in taxes that I was being charged. There's some extra, government fee shit in here. And that literally funds, the government phone program. That's one of the taxes and fees you're going to be paying with being on something like this. So I wouldn't call this a very beneficial plan, unless you're going to use it temporarily. And that's the last part about it. If you're going to use it temporarily, yeah, go ahead and be on the Flex plan. Because once you're done traveling and you come back to the US, you don't have to keep the plan. You don't have to lose your account if you don't want to. If you say like, you've gone on a vacation trip, you've gone to the Bahamas and you use your phone out there, you come back to the US and you're like, okay, but I have a wedding to go to in December, right? 6 months later, you can actually pause service on Google Fi where, it's not going to be active anymore. You're not going to be billed anymore for a length of time. I believe it is 6 months, the longest that you can pause the service before you have to go back in there and set it to repause the service again. But you can and put Google Fi on the back burner and only bust it out when you're like traveling. That's the only time that Google Fi is beneficial to everybody is when you're traveling outside of the US. Compared to what AT&T, Verizon, and T-Mobile offer for international plans, Google Fi outbeats them for it. And that's probably the only selling point for Google Fi is when you're traveling. But this is for like international usage, and this is not for like someone that's on the ACP program to go to something like this, because those that are on the ACP program are not going to be traveling outside of the United States frequently. So it went back to 2 lines because they definitely want people to see a 2-line thing. It doesn't show it here, but I know it's 50 gigs of priority data access. It's going to be said here somewhere. Where are you? Yeah, we know the cloud storage. Where's the fine print stuff? Let's see. It requires active Fi service. Oh, yeah, I know about that. Not intended for international use over 90 consecutive days. Oh, did they change up their international usage? Because yeah, that's what I was going to get into here at the end of this, right? Going back to what I said earlier, that you can get over the Great Firewall of China. Why aren't Chinese people trying to get Google Fi and, use it in their home country so they can access things that the CCP won't let them access? That is only because Google Fi has limitations of how long you can be outside of the United States with Google Fi service before you must come back to the US and have your phone with a SIM card or eSIM ping off a US tower. It has to, right? They have worked out all the bugs and kinks. So like, for those people who are like, oh, what I normally do is I have my friend, log into my Google Fi app and install my service on his phone on eSIM, and then have him keep my line in the US for 48 hours before I, re-download it back on my phone. Like, no, they've worked out the kinks. You can't do that anymore. You cannot do that. So that is, that's why other countries can't, piggyback off Google Fi service and be able to use it. Now it says here, this is new. I haven't seen this before. So I'm going to click on it right now and find out. But it says not intended for international use over 90 consecutive days. So they must have limited it, because before it used to be 360 days, right? That you could be outside of the US with Google Fi. Because there are a lot of YouTubers who do a lot of traveling and love to vlog their experiences. And this was a service provider that they would use to not only post to social media, but to also upload video to YouTube to keep their subscribers entertained with new content every week. They were also using Google Fi to live stream at destinations that they were visiting, so people can live vicariously through their vlogs and see different parts of the world. Those content creators were heavily impacted by Google Fi changing up on how long you can use, or how long you can be outside of the US with Google Fi service. Some of them were emailed that their data was being completely turned off. They had to return back to the US to ping off a US cell tower, because initially Google Fi is a US company, it's not an international company. Let's see. If the majority of your usage occurs outside of the United States over a consecutive 90-day period, we will suspend your international data. Your account stays active. You can avoid a suspension by returning to the US for at least a week. You'll receive a warning email notification in the Fi app 30 days before suspension. So that's how they're doing it now. Now it's every 90 days. It used to be every 360 days. Now it's every 90 days. When your data has been suspended for extended international use, you can still use your phone to call and text, but you will lose international data access until we have observed significant usage in the United States for at least 30 days. So yeah, that's crazy. So if you're not suspended, then you have to get back to the US and stay in the US for 1 week, leaving your phone active and connected to a US tower in order to maintain using your phone service outside of the United States. And if your phone line gets suspended while you're overseas, then you got to come back to the United States for 1 month before they turn back on your international usage. So I don't know. I find that, does anyone raise put a raising hand emoji if you agree with me? That's fucking ridiculous. That is stupid. Because you're eating yourself. You want people to go to you to choose you as an option for international usage, and yet you're putting limitations of 90 days. Some people work overseas for like 7 months straight and come back to the US for 5 months and go back out for 7 months. Some people go half the year in another country and come back, right? Not everybody goes for like 90 days, 3 months, and then comes back. Some people just do it that way. So why not make exceptions, right? Why not make exceptions? Like, for instance, military personnel could definitely use this. But the military has different things, right? Like, they have a temporary stay, which would benefit the 90-day period if they go TDY to like a base for like 3 months. Yeah. But like, for instance, my dad was in the military. He was given orders where he had to go to South Korea. He had to go to an Air Force base in South Korea, but it wasn't a normal TDY. He was actually going to be stationed in Korea for 1 year, but he was going to be brought back to the United States, to the base that we were living at, Eglin Air Force Base in Florida, when I was like 1 year old. So my dad saw no reason to uproot the entire family and move them all to Korea just to move us all back to the base. So he spoke with the base commander and worked it out where my mom, me and my sister stayed on Eglin Air Force Base in Florida. My dad went to Korea and stayed in Korea for 1 year under, orders. and then came back to Florida after. And so there's military personnel that do that you have to do that, and this 90-day thing is just going to be horseshit. So honestly, I think they should make it to where, like, if you have orders like that you can furnish to Google to see, which I think it's ridiculous you even have to like furnish that to them, but they should allow, a lot longer time out of the US before suspension. But again, it's out of their hands too, because these are partnership deals that they have with other telco companies internationally. And so there's probably checks and balances put in place that these companies, put on them, right? Like Google Fi just can't make things happen like that. Like no company can. Visible, Mobile X, Verizon, AT&T, T-Mobile, Boost Infinite, they just can't go and make things happen because they wanted to, right? Especially if you're utilizing, other providers' infrastructure, then you got to kind of work out a deal with them and go by their rules. They're allowing you access onto their networks, right? Without them, then what you're trying to do as far as service, being provided, you wouldn't be able to. So, but for those that are watching for the ACP stuff, disregard Google Fi. I'm just going on that just to show you guys what you can use for international use, and kind of got caught up in all these slight new changes with Google Fi. But anyways, so if I was to be honest with everybody, overall, if you're not a heavy data user, the biggest one that you're going to save money on after being ejected from the ACP program is going to be Mobile X. You definitely can control what you're using and how much you use. And I know people still can't grasp that concept just yet. Everybody loves that fully unlimited safety net, because you're like, I don't have to worry about data usage because I can use as much as I want or as little as I want. But you're also forgetting about what you're paying for, right? And if you're actually paying for what you really use, you can pay far less than $25 a month for phone service. And like I said, if you feel like that, 1 month, the month you're in currently, you're going to end up using more data than what you normally would, you can always add data to cover you for what you need. Everything is controlled within the app, so you don't have to talk to customer service. You don't need to really interact with any type of customer service, whether it's through chat, email, or phone call. You don't. You control it through the app itself. And if you say you think you're going to use 2 gigs extra this month, and you only use like 500 megabytes extra, then the remaining gig and a half that you didn't use, that you paid for, again, gets put in that surplus data forward. It gets forwarded to your next month's bill, credit off your next month's bill. So, but all these things, I'll put the links to these into the what do you call it, description later, so you guys can check them out. I'll also drop them in the chat right now. Copy. So there you have Mobile X. We'll drop visible.com. And these are the links to the actual pages that I was looking at, so not like the home pages of the website. So that way you guys can find the $25 plan on Metro. And Boost Mobile. And just for shits and giggles, if you're somebody that wants to use phone service outside of the United States or whatever, I'll put Google Fi's link to their. There you go. Those are all the links. Definitely. Let's see. Did anybody say who they're going for? Are y'all being secretive of who you're going for? Oh wait. Your mind says Chiefs. Your heart says Niners. Brian, are you the only one who said what team they were going for? I don't watch the entire season of the NFL, but I always like to watch Super Bowl just because I want to see who wins, and I like seeing great plays that are played if the teams have balls and are able to actually pull off like trick plays and stuff like that. So I would say Who I'm going for Super Bowl this year, 49ers. Yeah, I go with 49ers. I'm choosing them. So I'm pretty sure I know who my wife is going to choose just to bust my balls when we watch the Super Bowl later. My youngest son is going for 49ers also as well, just because he likes that they wear gold and red. But neither one of them are my team. So if anyone wants to ask, what is the team that I rock with in the NFL, it's always the New Orleans Saints. I always go with them. And it's not just for Drew Brees. Drew Brees, great quarterback, but it's not just for him. Just always has been like when I was a little kid, some people will know. When I was a little kid, I don't know if any of you guys remember the, like the Fleet football cards, baseball cards, like from, was it Fleet or Fleer? I forgot the name of them. Now there's Top and there's another one. I think it was Fleer. But anyways, they had these little figurines of players. And one day I came home from school and my dad every now and then he would like to surprise me and my sister with stuff. So like while he was on his lunch break, we were living on Clark Air Force Base in the Philippines when this happened, but on his lunch break, he would go home to eat lunch. He would stop off at the base exchange, which is like, the military's Walmart. And, he would buy certain things for me and my sister and leave it on top of the wooden TV console we had in the living room as a surprise for us for doing good, right? Because me and my sister always did our chores when we got home from school. We would always do our homework and make sure it was done before we did anything fun, right? So like I would get home from school, I would be either out playing with my friends by 4 in the afternoon, or I would be on my Sega Genesis at 4 in the afternoon until 6 o'clock. 6 o'clock was the cutoff for my video gaming because dinner was being made. But anyways, I came home and my dad had an action figurine of a New Orleans Saint player. And like I look up to my dad a lot. I love my dad very much, So New Orleans Saints has always been the teams that I picked just because of that. Because my dad surprised me with an NFL action figure of a New Orleans Saint player that also came with his card. I think it was Top because it came with the Top. The brand is Top and it's a card. Has info stats on the player and stuff like that. I used to collect those baseball cards, football cards. I used to collect those back in the day, and also comic books. All right, we got people just kind of going out there. Would be fun to see the casual fans be disappointed. 49ers, I'm sick of having Taylor shoved down just because she's dating Travis. Jeremy says San Francisco 49ers. Okay. We got 49ers in here. Nature Hardaway says San Francisco 49ers. Yeah, okay, cool. Anyways, I don't want to leave you guys too long. I know it's Super Bowl Sunday. You guys got plans. People got to make sure they're setting up for the game and they're getting their snacks, they're getting their beverages and stuff like that. Please, for the love of Jeebus, I swear, it would break my heart. If you're going to a Super Bowl party and you intend to drink, there's Uber, there's freaking Lyft, there's the local taxi companies. Please do not drink and drive, okay? Get the fuck home safely so I can see you guys on the next podcast and see your guys' lovely comments and everything like that. I always say this because I get worried about it, and I lost a friend to drunk driving 10 years ago, so it's something I'm very adamant about. And you know what? Like everyone, that comes in here is pretty much of drinking age, so I'm not gonna tell you guys don't, drink irresponsibly. Like do what you want. You want to get hammered, but just make sure that you don't drive. If you drove yourself to the party, give your keys to the host and make sure they understand not to give you your keys until you're sober. I will take an ass whipping by anybody who was belligerently drunk and out of their fucking mind. I would let them just beat the crap out of me, screaming they want their keys while I have their keys hidden. Because I'll take an ass whipping, a little bit of blood spitted out of my mouth, a black eye, or maybe a small fractured bone here and there is worth the cost saving someone's life from them losing their life for a stupid choice. I'm just saying. So if you're hosting a party, be brave. Take an ass whipping. You'll save someone's life. That's all I'm going to say. I appreciate you for being here. Go Niners. And you guys have a great rest of your week.